Okay, so we're going to check in live real quick. I'm at 48 hours fasting, and I'm going to check my blood sugar, my ketones. Earlier, you guys know that it was a little low. Sorry, I don't have very good lighting right now. I don't know if turning the backlights on will help. Maybe a little bit more. Not really. But I'm on my lunch break, probably a couple minutes over my lunch break, so I'm going to do this quick. Quick. Ketones. Check my blood sugar earlier. You guys know my blood sugar was at 90 and it should have been way lower than that. But I'll cover this topic a little bit more tomorrow. Your body goes through stages of ridding itself of glucose. First it has glucose in the blood, then it has muscle glycogen, and then it has glucagon that's released from the liver at about the 48 to 72 hour period whenever it wants to do a last ditch effort to bring its glycogen levels back up. It's a normal process, and it can temporarily bring your blood sugar back up some and your ketones back down, and then it levels out. So 24 hours, blood glucose gone. 48 hours, muscle glycogen gone. 72 hours, glucagon, last ditch effort, glucose release from the pancreas, gone. After that, pretty much stays low the entire time. So, I hate that. All right. We're reading. Ketones have more than doubled. It's at 1.2 millimolar. So ketones, see, this is what I thought exactly what would happen earlier. My blood glucose came up because I was in between the 24 and 48 hour mark when your body starts to get rid of all that muscle glycogen. So those are going back up now. Tomorrow they'll probably be up around 2.0 millimolar, and then it will consistently go up. It's a natural process that happens. Check blood sugar. $85, so I'm in the right direction. Come on. There we go. So blood sugar is going down just like I thought it would. Ketones are going up. Normal response. Tomorrow we do it again. But there's the the physiological process, the mechanistic process your body has to go through. It's a very normal response for these things to happen. If you catch it right at the right time during, the different releases and processes that go on inside the body, this is what happens. I am not weighing myself at all. I will weigh myself at the end of all this, and I may even go more than 5 days. I don't know yet. I feel pretty good at the end of 48 hours. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Just how do you get through that mental block of knowing that you're not going to eat anything? First of all, know that what you're doing is healthy, especially if you don't have any medical conditions and stuff like that that can hinder you from doing it. Keeping up on electrolytes, so I have a schedule. I know that first thing in the morning, before I go to bed, I want, 750 milligrams of potassium, or just, let's say 650. 650 milligrams of sodium, 650 milligrams of potassium. I get up, I go about my day, I just drink water before I go to work, before the activity starts. Same thing, double dose it. Or I'll do what I did the night before I went to bed. And I'll just drink water throughout the day. Tea, coffee, something like that. I did have about 4 ounces of coffee earlier today just to see what would happen. And I only drank half of it, and I already started feeling this huge energy spike right away because you're so sensitive to it. You're in this fasted state, and your body reacts to caffeine like it's almost 10 energy drinks. Like, wow, this hit of you know, 40 to 80 milligrams of caffeine feels like it's 400 milligrams of caffeine because you're so super sensitive to what's going on at the time. Some things that happen along the way is, you know, when you hit that 48-hour mark, your second initial blood glucose spike is down at that point. Ketones and blood glucose, ketones go up, blood glucose continues to go down. About 72 hours, you'll get that last glucagon hit from the pancreas, trying to save that's that last ditch effort, saying, look, I'm going to release this last little bit of glucagon I have. It's your reserve stores. You release it, you burn through it again. 72-hour mark hits, your immune system, all the white blood cells die. Your immune system is completely rebuilt at that point. You're in the deepest form of autophagy that you've been in the entire process. A lot of people think that you have to be in very long periods of fasting in order to get into those fasts, and that is not true. That is not what happens. Your body is always in some kind of autophagy phase. Your body always has to be able at some point to rid itself of bad cells and stuff like that. It's just depending on the level of how deep you are into that fasted state and your body having nothing to eat, it starts attacking things that it normally wouldn't eat to get rid of it. And it's smart enough to do that. So your people tell you you need to be in a 16-hour fast to be in some form of autophagy. That is not correct. Your body always has to be able to be in some kind of autophagy. And if you actually look at the very definition of it, it's something to the extent of ridding itself of foreign bodies or cells that cause damage and things like that. That's what autophagy is. But to get into a more deeper form, you need to have everything out of your body, no food, glucose levels low, and then your body can naturally, mechanistically switch and say, you know what? Let's start getting rid of everything that caused me problems. I used to have little moles and stuff all over my neck. It's gone. I had a mole here about 3 days ago, right here on the back of my neck. There was one left, and there's one. I got one little mole here, and it's smaller. It's half the size. You guys probably can't see it. It's right there. I had one there and one over here, but it's gone. And I used to have them around my neck, little ones. But the longer I would fast, the more my body would get rid of that stuff and they would just fall off. I would have eczema or psoriasis on my forearms really, really bad. And as a mechanic, it would really, really bother me. And it's all that stuff through extended periods of fasting. It's all gone. No more dry skin, no more eczema, no more psoriasis. It's all gone. And the only time I realized that is when I extended fasted. Somebody just asked me a question. So any tips to do longer fast? I do 1 meal a day with keto and still am not hungry even when I eat. Okay, so at that point you still don't eat. If you're not hungry, there's two things that is happening. Either you're not doing enough activity or your body just doesn't really want food. And it will heal itself to the point where it will tell you to start when you need to eat. You don't need to eat just because it's a thing, you know, like 1 meal a day. You don't need to do that. When your body's ready to eat, you eat. When it's not ready to eat, you don't eat. And that's as simple as it is. And as you heal and as you become more active, your body will tell you naturally when it's hungry. And that's when you feed. And you don't just eat a little bit, you eat. That's the natural way of doing it, but we don't practice it that way. There are so many other doctors out there that claim that they know the cure-all, be-all. There's so many scientists and stuff out there that know that they got the cure-all, be-all, and we all follow 10,000 different ways, and we want everybody else to do it our way. Back up a second. Figure out what works for you, and that's it. The next person is going to figure out how they want to do it. They're not going to do it your way. People are not going to fast my way. People are going to add fat and butter and all this other stuff into their coffee. They're going to do all these egg fasts and fast fasts and bacon fasts, all this stuff. I don't find that's not a fast to me. That's just another way to reduce your blood sugar even more to lose some weight. That is what it is. When you fast, you omit. And you hear somebody say, I'm doing a bacon fast. When you say I'm doing a bacon fast, you're saying I'm bacon omitting from my diet. You're not saying I'm doing just bacon only. When you say I'm doing a fat fast, you're saying I'm fat omitting from my diet. Fasting means omitting from your diet. So we use the terms wrong to begin with. We make things up to be what they're not. And it's a constant process that goes on over and over again. And what we should be doing is we should be saying, look, I'm just going to fast. Fasting is omitting food from your diet, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm omitting food from my diet. I'm having coffee, water, and I really don't have coffee. I just wanted to try it. Water, potassium, and sodium. That's all I have. Some people add chicken broth. Some people add bone broth or whatever like that. You know what? Technically, it's not really fasting, but it may work for them. I'm not one to tell you don't do that. I'm one to tell you, let's use these terms correctly. Let's do them correctly if we're going to do them. If you're going to go on an all-fat egg, you know, this egg fast that people talk about, it's really not an egg fast. What it is you're just eating specific foods with high amounts of fat, and it's an extreme elimination diet, just like the carnivore diet with just meat, water, and salt is an extreme elimination diet. An egg fast would be an extreme elimination diet. These things are not fasts. They are specifically elimination diets to get things rolling again. A fast is omitting food from your diet. That's what it is. I see. What about calories? You know, Dr. Jason Fung says anything more than 50 calories a day that it has been studied will break a fast. I think anything eaten will break a fast, but it's just my opinion. Now, what did you say about calories? Okay, so thoughts about calories are exactly this. If you follow the natural Dr. Eric Westman way of doing things, you eat until you're full. You don't count calories. You don't count fat, you don't count protein, you make sure you're cognizant of the carbs that you're having, and you just eat until you're full. I don't understand making an exception for that either, Brennan, but what ends up happening was coffee. I can see why people would use coffee, just regular black coffee, because black coffee does bring your blood sugar down even more, and it raises your ketones up even more. So I know why people do black coffee because I've experienced it. I've had half a cup of black coffee while fasting and then checked my ketones and they raised 0.4 and my blood sugar came down even more, 4 points. So I see why they do it because it almost seems like it increases your ketones and drops your blood sugar even more. Is it technically? I don't think coffee would break a fast because of how much it revs things up and gets things moving. It's just my personal opinion. I don't know the answer to that, though. I know a lot of people do allow it and a lot of professionals. I've never heard even a professional against it. But anyway, counting calories, I don't think it's a bright idea, but there are some people that have to count calories because they've been so addicted and so certain foods and just binging their entire life. They have to count calories until they can get this assimilation of what's in hand to mouth over and over again. They need to figure this out. They need to figure out what's okay and what's not okay. So they count for a while to get, you know, this assimilation of food, what I can have, what my body needs, and theoretically what I shouldn't be doing. You know, in theory I shouldn't be eating these things, but I need to practice what I should be eating. So let me count calories and stuff for right now to get the hang of this for a while. Once I get the hang of it, I don't have to count calories and stuff anymore. I can just eat because I've learned this new pattern of eating, this new pattern of living. So counting calories to me, it's stupid. It really is. But that's just me. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't even want people to try to defend themselves. I make videos sometimes, and it feels like I get flooded with people saying, this is why I do it. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm telling you these are my videos to share with you, and if you have questions for me, I would love to teach you or help you or network with you or whatever it is. But I have a lot of people that watch my videos, and they say, well, this is X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and F. This is why I do this, this, and this, and this. And that's just why I do it. Okay. I'm okay with that. Do what you do. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm telling you why I do it. I'm telling you my opinions and views on things. And I'm telling you this is how I would teach it to be done. You don't have to do it that way. You don't have to justify why you do it your way. You don't have to explain yourself. I'm just sharing something with you, a little bit of information. And if you want my help, then sure, I'll be more than glad to help you. But a lot of people take my videos very, very personally, almost like it hurts their feelings because I say, I do it this way, I teach it this way. I don't have very much time. I'm on my lunch break right now. I'm actually 10 minutes over my lunch break. So I would love to sit here and explain things even more. But I do have to, I know why people freak out. I mean, our bodies need it. Like, what should you watch out for? All you need to watch out for is your LDL to triglyceride ratio. So take your HDL to triglyceride ratio. Take your triglycerides, take your HDL, take okay, so what am I trying to do here? My triglycerides are 52, my HDL is 60. When I take my triglycerides and I divide them into my HDL, I've got like a 1 point something ratio. It's under 2. So you want 2-to-1 ratio for your HDL to triglycerides. That's what you want. So I take my triglycerides and I divide them into my HDL, and if I have at least 2-to-1 or lower, I'm gravy. That's the train of thought that seems to be more commonly used now. And mine is my triglycerides are 52 and my HDL is 60. So I'm in a very, very, very good ratio. They're both right on top of each other. They almost mimic each other. So I don't have any kind of real serious problems. And then you can do the math with remnant cholesterol. You take your LDL and your HDL, you add them together. So say my LDL is 100, my HDL is 60. I have 160 total. My total cholesterol is 170. I take my HDL and my LDL add together and I subtract it from my total cholesterol. What do I come up with? 10. So my remnant cholesterol score would be 10. That score is super healthy. It's like 12, it's like 14 and below, or 12 and below is super healthy. Like, you have no problems. And then it's like 12 to 18 or 12 to 20, you're in a normal range. And then it's like 20 to 25,